Good afternoon, everyone. That's what I get for doing too many things at once. Trying to get ahead of the game here. Ooh. Well, I guess we'll have to leave that up for now. I just realized that comes with it. Huh. All right, still more to work on. In order for you all to hear ATC, I forgot I had this in here, so that's probably why it didn't work. But the problem is, you have to have it active to use it. So we'll have to dig into that. Anyway, welcome to Flying with Mike. That's a problem down the road. Hope you're ready. We're going to do some Sim Air Force operations today. Basically, hopefully, let's put this in big, bold letters. Hopefully, we're going to get from McGuire to MidAmerica Airport on VATSIM. We've been having some troubles with flight factors here lately. Running into invalid objects, errors, which cause it to crash to desktop. Many of them I think I can attribute to the weather. Hence, you're not seeing the gloomy skies there in McGuire. You're seeing a nice KVOC, and we're going to fly that across. So hopefully everything comes together right and we make it. If not, we will adjust and try a different airplane. All right, so hope you're ready for this, because I sure am. We are sitting on the deck KWRI, McGuire Air Force Base. Looking for you on VATSIM. If you want to join us, we'll take the risk and fly with you. And the risk being, will we stay online or not? And I don't mean we drop off VATSIM. We crash to desktop. So we'll see how that works. It's happened twice now. So once in this, once in a TWA version of this. So we're going to kind of see where and what we can do here. It's going to be a bummer if this aircraft gets sidelined for a while. But actually, you know what I haven't checked on here lately? Is there an update? Where is flight? There they are. I know everything with sevens has been getting all the updates and will probably continue for quite a while. So, yeah, they keep telling us soon we'll see some free updates. Well, yeah, we remember the word soon with the aircraft of sevens. So, all right. So, again, McGuire to MidAmerica Scott Air Force Base, right up the street from me. And we're going to bring the KC46 hopefully across if everything goes right. If not, well, we'll adjust. Welcome to the military. Adapt over adjust, adapt, overcome, win the day. I think I got it right. Anyway, so there she is sitting on the line. Now, before you go, Captain, that's not one. It is, and yes, you're right, it isn't. Well, the big thing obviously missing is back here under the APU, the boom. That's the big thing missing. Secondly, and I don't know if they carry them all the time or if they just add them when needed. The chutes under the wings so they can fill the Navy aircraft and helicopters. Although getting this thing slowed down to the speed of a helicopter could get quite dangerous. So, especially with a load of fuel for them. But anyway, I guess it could be possible. But then there is that thing called the KC130 that could go up and take care of them. So, but anyway, that's what we're flying today. Basically, what you see in front of you. Here, let me start you down the road for this plane. Now, it took me actually when I first bought this plane for X-Plane 11, then it ported into beta over here to X-Plane 12. Um, I wasn't sure which version to get of it. There's the professional, then there's the extended, and global, I think, is the next one up. I forget what it is. So, I did the smart thing and went right in the middle for the extended. And what that gives you is the 767-300 ER, 300 freighter, 200 ER, and the 200 SF special freight. That's what this aircraft is painted to, is the 767-200 Sierra Fox special freighter. Not really sure what all that means. Looking at it, I think it's just the passenger version converted. But basically, in the real world, the 767 was the canvas they started with, and some hodgepodging went along, and you got the 7 or KC46. So there's a lot of differences between, well, aside from aircraft, between the KC46 and past tankers, to include the KC10. Now, one quick note, with the KC10, with the KC135, the boom operator was in the tail, right out looking at the window, right at your little beady eyes as you were coming into his boom. Not so now. He's in the cockpit. Cameras do the eyeballing for him. Little, to me, sounds scary, but when you think about it, the way the world is today, we rely on cameras so much. I mean, look at your car. If you've got a new car, you have those, I call them eyeballs up front. Somebody slams on the brakes in front of you, those eyeballs catch it, and your brakes get slammed on. Or it keeps your distance, and so you do see what I'm saying. We are really beginning to rely on that. Now that's a proximity type camera. They're actually, proximity, visual, the whole 9 yards. So really some sophisticated, and I'm just on the just cleaned the floor with what I gave you. I couldn't even begin to tell you all the great stuff this aircraft has. I wouldn't even know. So, but anyway, that's the aircraft we are indeed embarking with today. So let's crawl up into cockpit. One last note, to load the aircraft, which we just finished doing, unless you're at a gate. Here, let me just pull it up. Where'd it go? Why are you being such a pain? Oh, that's why. This guy did it wrong. There we go. I think now it'll work. Hang on. Yep. What I did accidentally, let me try it outside. Hang on. I'm one of those that, there we go. All right, what I did, and you may have seen, I accidentally clicked this button here, which windowed it. Shampoo fire, let's go to deliver some freedom. Where are you? I'm here on the ramp. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that. We're hoping we don't have anything that crashes us to desktop here with VATSIM. This aircraft has done it now twice. So anyway, what I did is I clicked here, which puts it into a windowed version. When it's in a windowed version, it won't play. So that's why I had to go look for it, click it back in, and then it's fine. Flight factor. That's actually something I never knew, and I don't think that happens with other aircraft. So anyway, to what I was trying to get to. All right, what do we need to do to be able to load the plane? Okay, and Shampoo Flyer says, oh, you're playing American. Dude, I have one of the biggest trucks out there. Get your butt on the ramp here. Let's go fly. Just kidding, dude. I had to go there. Hang on a second. Yeah, that we're going to have to figure out. All right. Well, the flight is going to be around an hour and a half, 2 hours. And anything in a semi, dude, I used to drive them, is 8 to 10 hours. I used to drive them. I know it's very long, long shifts behind the wheel. Again, having some fun here. Just, oh, well, that's fine. Hey, we get it. No problem. How are you driving a semi then? Locally? You're sure not going cross country. Oh, anyway. And I'm familiar with the game, so yeah, the game. I know. Uh, that's why I couldn't play the game. Being an old trucker, that game and me would not get along. Anyway, so to load this aircraft, you will have to have the air stair you see in front there to load the peoples or the crew. You have to have the cargo door open and the loader there. So you would click the ACU, staircase for the stairs, and then make sure your doors are open. We'll show you what I do here for that. You don't necessarily need the GPU. I put it on the plane, but you do need the fuel truck for the fuel, and you do need the baggage, which are called LSUs, luggage something, something I don't know, something with luggage loading. Um, those things there to load the under passenger compartment areas. All right. I put the ACU on just because it sounds good so that the people inside are a little more comfy. And to open the doors, go to Ops Airplane. What I do is come down and open all. That'll open all of them in this configuration. When you're in the passenger, go through what you need: the main door, the two cargo doors, the bulk door, and luggage loaders and stuff like that. But for this plane, this is how it needs to be. Also, in order for it to look right, I'm going to be able to show it off because the engines aren't running. If you come in, until it's loaded, I thought it was when I had, anyway, if the engines got either a white band or white instead of the military gray, check your engines before loading the plane with the cargo and switch from GE to PW. Okay, let's go back to ops. So once you have the top looking like this, I always perform maintenance. Always do it. Matter of fact, we'll do it again. Then, oh, I did not do this correctly. Well, the good thing is it's optimal, so that's cool. All right. Then I get my load set up, and we'll go through that here in a second. Click optimize. I didn't do that in the as we were getting it ready. I got hung up on something else. As you can tell, we're shifting the way the sounds are handled here. So please step up if you're not hearing something. And by the way, the without that X-plane, X-pilot window showing, we don't have the audio. So you may hear me talking to them and you don't hear them talking back for the moment. We'll figure that one out. And then you click load. You'll know you're done. You'll hear all the beeps and all of that when they're done, or your fuel panel will equal your fuel weight. In this case, 30.0 is 30,000. See, it tells you, times it by 1,000. All right, and that's it. You're done. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Just like the A350, the 767 cargos are just a little tricky. Now, you cannot go through and count all of these spots up and say, I want that many pallets. I guarantee you, you'll be overweight. What you have to do is, if you use SimBrief, that's what I recommend for everything. If you use SimBrief, look at your payload. We're going to do that here in a second. Your payload divided by 9,800 pounds. That is what each pallet weighs. That's why I said, if you go through and count them all up, put that number there, it is gonna be red. I don't even know how many that is. Looks like about 14 or so. So 14 times 9,800. I don't even think 747 is gonna be able to pull that one off very well. So that's how you do this. Each pallet is 9,800 pounds. Like most people, I'm sure, when I first got this plane, I thought, oh, pallet numbers, okay. I'll put 14 pallets on at 500 pounds each. Nope. It's 14 pallets at 9,800 pounds. So what I do, like I said, take that payload weight and just divide it by 9,800. Put the left side of the decimal as your pallet number. Okay. Now, if you want to make it as close as you can, then take whatever the zero fuel weight is. Make sure to zero your cargo weight at that point. You are not zeroing your payload so far. You're just zeroing the excess. Put it to 0, hit enter. You'll notice your
We have to change our clothes because our foot came through the sleeper.
Hang on a second. The new sleeper?
No,
Oh. I was gonna say, girl, you grew from 12 months to 18 months in a day? Sorry about that. We've got a 1-year-old granddaughter we watch first part of the week, and she is growing like a weed. Girl's going to turn 1-year-old here soon, and the girl has to wear 18-month clothes because she's so tall. Now, granted, it is thankfully somewhat big on her, not by much. That's so. This girl's gonna be tall. So, if everything goes as right now. But anyway, as we were saying, so once you put the number 3 in your pallet load, zero out the cargo weight. Don't worry about fuel. Zero fuel weight, ZFW. Subtract that from what SimBrief says it should be. And that's only going to be a number up to 9,800. If it goes over, you need another pallet. Okay, so it's going to be a number up to it. So in this case, we had a payload of, I'm just going to read it off and then show it because we need to get going. We had a payload of 32,970 pounds. So when we divided that out, it was 3 pallets. Plus, now we got to figure out the excess. So we took whatever the zero fuel weight was at that point, subtracted it from 209. How did we go over? I just noticed that we went over. All right, hang on. No, we'll just work with it. We're 3,000 pounds heavy. That gets us closer. So anyway, you see what I'm doing. I noticed our estimated zero fuel weight, subtracted it out, and that's what we ended up with. How we did this, I don't know. Interesting. All right, so we're close. We'll have to play the we're close game. Usually I'm right on with it. I don't know what messed up here. Besides me. Um, so, all right. So that's how you do this. So just remember each pallet is 9,800 pounds. Let's get going. Okay, so once you have this, you click load, like we said, and when the fuel, which is what I love about the 57s and 67s, they actually tell you under their respective pumps, not on a gauge in the middle of the panel, but right under each of their respective pumps on the fuel panel, which makes it kind of easy to help balance things out. 30,000 pounds, okay, of fuel. We're not going to change it. You'll see. It's kind of, to me, we'll keep it, might be able to play with it. Who knows? All right, so let's get to work. All right, so we've got the plane loaded up top here one more time, and then we're going to get into the FMC, which is, by the way, already aligned. Parking brake is on battery, standby power. They're in the second row of switches here, and the standby power are all in auto. The bus ties, utility bus are on. Click the left gen, right gen disconnects on the outside. Don't open the guards and close them. I'll explain here in a second because I just broke one of my rules. There we go. This will actually disconnect them, the what's under the guards. And then you'll have to perform maintenance to get them fixed again. If you just click out here, get off with the on, meaning when the gens come on and they connect, the off light will go off. Okay? And the emergency lights are set. I'm going to set, what is today? Even day. Okay. And we're, I think, 500. That's where we'll start. That was weird. Okay, MidAmerica Airport, Scott Air Force Base is 450. Call it 460. Okay, we're on 2. We're set. Good. Window heats, I'll go ahead and turn on, get that going, and set up. All right. Looking outside, we are done loading. So let's get rid of some equipment. Why don't we? So we can get rid of the loader unit, the fuel truck, and the LSUs. And for now, we'll just close those respective doors, leaving the main one open. Till we get the APU on, then we can look at closing up or turning off the APU or the ground bar. Okay, moving on. Let's get down here. Panel lights are set. Let's get the McDo ready to load up. Unfortunately, there is no way to do the knit request like we do on the Zebo, the Level Up, the Airbuses. So we have to rely on company routes. Bear with me a second here. Okay, so the 01 is on this one. Okay, I've actually saved them. So it'll be KWRI KBLV01. Put that in company route. You know, there was one day I was doing this, and why is it not loading? I was putting it in flight number. Be careful. Make sure you're putting it in the right place. You can check it if you'd like. Looks good to me. And then you can activate, execute, and you're ready to go. Flight number today is Reach 25. Perfect. Now, click zero fuel weight, verify it. Oh, we haven't even done that yet. Real quick, I'm going to bring up some toolkit so you get an idea what I was talking about. All right, we'll bring in the loadout. So you see your payload, 32,970 pounds. Divide that by 9,800. That'll give you, just take the whole number, 3. Put that in the pallet number. Whatever's left over, subtract out from 209,620. Something tells me I got a different number. Anyway, that's okay. We'll work with it, like I said. And then 28, there's where I told you we have 28,824 pounds of fuel planned. We're just going to put 30, keeps it simple. 157 people, and it's actually cargo, but whatever. We're going to take off, not on 3.6, probably 2.4. We'll see what the winds are like. Maybe runway 6, who knows? But the chances of us, well, it's 7,000. Yeah, the chances are slim to none. So we'll probably do either 6 or 2.4. Winds? Oh, that's right. There won't be METARs, because guess what? Well, wait a minute. No, there should be. Why aren't there METARs? Yeah, currently the wind is 260 at 8, 10 miles, light rain. I'm just flying KVOC, so I'm not worried too much, okay? So that would facilitate, yeah, 3.6, but you know, we're going to go 2.4. Actually, that would be better for 2.4. So let me switch that. 2.4. Much better. Yeah, we'll see. I was just looking ahead, see what we had potential. Anyway, so we don't have any weather, which is weird. I don't know why it missed and did not download it. And then, like I said, we are up and on VATSIM. All right, let's get Sim Toolkit out of here. I am going to bring in charts real quick. We'll be back with Sim Toolkit in a moment. Hang on a second. Getting the rest of this page filled out. Okay, so we can get to Swingfield, I think. Yeah, no. Yeah, Springfield, Illinois is our alternate, 9.1. I'll just put 9. Okay, cruise altitude there will be 40,000. Nice. Cost index 80. Cruise wind, I'm not going to really, I'll put it in, but it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, let's at least do it right if we're going to put it in. 293, diagonal, whoop, 3, diagonal, come on. 6.2. One of these days I'll hit the right buttons. And we'll keep it at ICAO, takeoff. All right, I'm just going to click here. Now, this is where it gets kind of fun because we don't actually have weather conditions. So what we'll do, well, first off, let's go back to departure and set that up. Okay, I brought charts in for that. Okay, so out of McGuire, we're changed to runway 24. These are the departures if we are going to fly them. Now, technically, we should be flying nags either to Pottstown or, I think that's Pottstown, or MXE Modena, I think it is how you pronounce it, and then out to PENSY. So here's what we'll do. 24, nags 2, MXE. And what that's done is set it up in our FMC for us. You can kind of see it going around us here. Okay. And then back to route. Next. So there you have nags 2 forward and nags 2 to MXE, la 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 la. Here's where you get the rubber hitting the road. Now over here you notice it's kind of highlighted. Click add to route and voila, it adds it. Whoa, hang on, I clicked the wrong one. Now I gotta go up here, find Manta. There we go. So there you see how it works around us. Okay, so we're just gonna look through here real quick. Mascoutah, Apat, Jimdo, Bolmi, Nags, MXE, PENSY. And then it's, wait a minute, PENSY, Kippy, Flirt, or Flirt, Kippy, Larry, Beats, Graham, Vince, LaJoy, Air. Okay, everything's looking good so far. Creep, Phyllis, and Indianapolis. Okay, Creep, Phyllis, Indianapolis to TILMN. Then we're going to drop down to Centralia, and that's when we start the approach for Scott Air Force Base. Click departure arrival, index, MidAmerica. Oh, we get to choose today. 3-2 right or 3-2 left? Let's do 3-2 right. Just because it's a longer runway. And 3-2 right. Okay, so we'll get to Dutmai, turn south, head for the ILS, come back, hold at Eggnog. Okay, pretty simple. All right, so ILS, ENL, execute, legs. What I'm looking for, though, are to something that's going to be a discontinuity. All right, and execute. Okay, that's all in there. Go back to route, perf int. Everything still looks good. Next page. Oh, sorry, take off. All right, so this is where we ended up before. Okay, we'll go ahead. Pull charts out. Hang on a second while I do something behind the scenes. There we go. And let's bring some toolkit in here so we can show you how I do this. How do we get our numbers here? Because If we go to page 2, we're just going to have the wind, the slope of the runway, and that's it. Okay, wind we'll just put as 3, or better yet, 240, diagonal 2, 2. And for the slope, I'll show you where you can find it on Sim Toolkit right here. Slope down 1. To put that in, you just put D 0.1. And that's all. And today's reference temperature is 14. Wonder why. That's standard temperature. Next page. Okay, so how do we get these numbers from Sim Toolkit? Actually, we're not getting them from Sim Toolkit. We're going to get them from Sim Brief. Your web application can be put on here. Okay, so you can either go here. Actually, that may not be a bad thing today. Two 337.5. Okay, so we're in a. This is the downside to it. You got to fill in all the blocks. Okay, KWRI, runway 24, 10,000 foot long, takeoff weight 239,544. We know we're a little heavier than what we're reporting. We're going to go dry, and we're going to, that's fine. Enabled, 2. All right, so you can already see in the big green speeds will be different than when we input them. They're wide. SimBrief increased them for a better climb. Okay, so there's our numbers again. We're running with no weather on board, so that's why things will also be a little different. 129, 132, 134. We're going to derate our takeoff to 54 degrees. And here's where that translates out on your runway. Some people have to have an image to understand they're okay. I could see in the real world. Flight sim world, not so much. Okay. Let me pull Sim Toolkit out here. So let's take those numbers and punch them in, shall we? Hang on. Pretty sure I can fudge it. Fudge it just a little on the other way. Yeah. Okay. So I need select temperature 52 diagonal D dash, oh wait a minute, clear TO. Actually, I think I can just do TO2. Yeah, derated takeoff, flaps 5. Now, you're saying, well, where's the numbers? You got to turn them on. Okay, now we came out with, okay, the numbers SimBrief put out was 128, 134, or 131, 134. I'm just going to go with them. Select speeds off, and pre-flight's complete. We're ready to go. Hope you are. Just getting things back in order here. Finally, rounding this out. Let's go now and put this away. We'll keep the yaw dampers off for now. The engine controllers are already in norm. We've already got our electric pumps on, auto on the demands. Engine start for today will be on the number 2 side. I'm going to crank the APU up now. And by the way, things are a lot faster here, so don't be surprised if it's already there and available. Okay, bleed. All right, now why the duct pressure didn't come up? It's because we don't have that one turned on yet. There we go, duct pressure's up. And the window heat's on. Passenger signs now going on. Cabin altitude set for number 2. Equipment cooling set, altitude for the landing set there. Cabin will go ahead, brighten up their day. And we're ready to go. Trim air set. And everything's ready to go. ACARS up and running. We're going to double check. And then we're going to go. Oh, I didn't select online or offline. Doggone it. Oh well. And we are online. That's all that matters, truly. Truly. We're ready to go. I'm just getting a window set up here. All right, let's light the fires, kick the tires, and light them fires. Yeah, I know, it's more cinematic in the F-14s. All right, the big thing here to start up the KC46 767. I don't care which one you're using here in X-Plane from Flight Factor. The big thing is make sure you have plenty of air to the engines from your APU. Which we do at the moment. They'll actually go up here in a second when I turn these packs off. And then we need, that's it, is make sure you turn the packs off and turn them on. All right, so we'll be going to ground. But let's go back outside the airplane. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Perfect. And that'll work. Okay. Let me get the CTAF for here. May not come up. Oh, it did. 118,650. All right, we're ready to go. Okay, the other big thing about this plane is the radios. All right, so let me bring X-Pilot in and we'll leave it up now for the flight. I know it's going to, hopefully, we'll find a better place for it. Maybe even be able to shrink it more. We'll see. Actually, I should be able to shrink that window. But anyway, we'll see what we can do here. The big thing with the radios, first off, let's talk the transponder. Remember, you'll hear controllers say, make sure you're squawking mode C. X-Pilot users, that means X-Plane users in VATSIM. Okay. Bear with me a second. There we go. Just getting a frequency and all up in here. That's your ILS, by the way. Anyway, up here is your transponder. Of course, you'll get your code unless there's a controller. Put that in. That's standard stuff. All you got to do is either go to Alt off or Alt on, and that'll turn the green light on up here. That green light's not on, you are going to get them telling you make sure you're in mode C. That's all you have to do. So you take it from standby to Alt off. If that doesn't make it green, go to Alt on. It will go green at some point. Secondly, radios. Next to all the disconnect, you're going to see COM1 now reads 118,650. Hence, the CTAF, Common Traffic Area Frequency. VAT USA, Caribbean, Mexico, and Canada all use that. So to pull you off 122.8 and talk there. Because some of you play in the pattern and they don't want to hear it on 122.8. I get it. It does get annoying because you can't get in. So I get it. Could have done it a little differently, but I think that's a good frequency for you to go to. However, that aside, what you need is to make sure you see that TX, that RX, and that RX on COM2 all bold like you see, not like the TX in COM2. That way, two things. One, you will transmit, they should hear you. Two, when they transmit, you should hear them. However, here's how you make it if it's not. Make sure your left radio has the light on. You may have to click this center to go back to left to get it to light up. May have to. Also, make sure, like the MD11, you are turned up on your volumes here. Oh, that was so maddening with the MD11. Granted, we're not in that bird, but it's worth noting here. I was transmitting. He was talking back to me. I couldn't hear him because the volume was turned down. So be careful turning things down because you may not hear them. But that won't necessarily light your lights up here. You gotta click on them and light the buttons themselves. Once they're lit, look at your XPilot. You should see it like mine. TX, RX for COM1 highlighted, or as I like to call it, lit up. RX for COM2. You won't get both going at the same time. COM2 121.5 is so the controllers can yell at you, come talk to me on my channel, because you don't want to talk to them. No, I don't know why. I just said that. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out with XPilot. It's a little tricky in some of the flight factor planes and some of the others. TOLUS has a quirk of its own. It seems to only, to me, be isolated to the A319, but it might be elsewhere. So I haven't really paid attention much to it. That's why I haven't really brought it to everyone's attention. So just make sure you're set to go before you communicate. All right, we are just about ready to go. We got some last minute things first to check. Okay, we are off the... this is one I can't stress enough. Once you get your APU on the generator on the plane, so you have internal power now with the APU, disconnect the external power with the switch first. If you don't, you're gonna potentially have to reload the FMC. That sucks, especially if you're on a long flight. Unless you got, some of those things built in, you wrote things down, you can get through it quickly, but it still sucks to have to do it twice. So make sure you click it to where it just says available. You don't see the word on or whatever it says when you've clicked it in and engaged it. Then you can come up here, go to ground, and take the ACU off. We don't need it anymore. The GPU off. See, nothing happened. And we can now go to airplane, and what I do, just close all, and that makes sure anything that potentially opened up that you didn't know is closed. Come back, round it out by kicking out the stairs. Hey, if you got the parking brake on, get rid of the chocks too. And that means we are ready to taxi. Well, as soon as we start up. And it will take, as a real 767 pilot a couple of years ago to the channel said, oh, they got work to do on that. These things are starting way too fast. Now the 300 seems to work fine. It's this one that they now need to put their eyeballs on. All right, let's do one last thing. I like to get my panel set first, 135, so we'll go to 145, V2 plus 10, flight directors on. Runway heading for us is 238, I believe. 238 it is. And I'll show another thing. Whoop, there we go. We'll get it there. All right, let's come up here. And our bank angle, this is one of those aircraft you can do the bank angle with. Make sure it's on auto. Altitude initial. It didn't load my departure. Why not, Muffy? That's just mean. Oh, wow. I was just looking at the full-blown departure here. Holy mackerel. If you go off runway 18, holy mackerel. That's pretty cool. All right, we do not have an en route climb. Oh, wait a minute. Cross Nags. Where's Nags? At 6,000. Okay. Unless center's up and it's not. Okay, we're going to fly it to a point, and then we'll set for our cruise altitude. Okay, so we're set for 6,000 by Nags. We're ready to go. One last check to make sure the ACAR system is ACARing. Like how I did that. Okay, we're set, ready to go. It looks like I am the only peep on Sim Air Force at the moment. Hey, if you're looking for an airline to join, check them out. Sim Air Force. I've been around them better part of 20 years. Great group, great bunch of people there. And we're looking for you. If you want to fly military flights in military restricted areas, dogfights, air refueling, cargo dropping, ground pounding with the A-10s and on some of the other fighters, hey, check us out. VSOA, that's the only way you're going to be able to fly formations and air refueling. So check us out there at crew.simairforce.com. And we're firing up. Okay, first thing, turn those packs off. Next thing I'm going to do, check all doors are closed, showing on the panel. Get the beacon on. By the time we get, wrong one, we'll start number 2 first. It'll already be where I can do my thing. There it is at the magenta line, clicked. So like I said, they do start quick. And we're already up and ready. No, we're not. Why didn't we switch over? There it is. I forgot to turn the fuel pumps on. I'll make sure you turn the fuel pumps on too. I don't know what it is about airplanes needing fuel. I heard it was just a nasty rumor. Okay, we're starting up number 1. At that magenta line, you can click the fuel valve. Now in the 767-300, you are going to notice this thing feels more like it should. And I came very close to trying that one today, so hopefully we won't have any troubles. Okay, looks like you saw the generator flickings and clickovers. So that was your disconnects here, connecting. The generators are now online, and we are able to continue on here. After start, we got left and right hydraulic pumps. Anti-ice left and right engine bleeds. Packs. APU bleed off. APU off. Generator off. Everything looks good. Okay, everything looks good here. Before taxi checks, auto brakes will put in reject. Taxi lights in a second. This is when the checklist will tell you to set your FCP here, MCP middle control panel, FC front control, however you want to call it. However, let's make sure our stape trim is 3.9. Torched Medic, welcome aboard. Hope you've got a great day going. Hope they're not calling you out too much on the medical side. Oh, well, not a problem there, Torch Medic. We appreciate you coming on and saying hello with a follow. We sure appreciate you. And be safe at work. All right, we're set on the trim, and we're ready to taxi. What do you say about that? Flaps to 5. EFIS control panel set to 200. Radar will turn to weather. And a lot of speculation coming into what's coming with X-Plane 2.0, X-Plane 12. Many think the weather radar they touted. I hope so. And finally, we'll get the flight controls checked. Another downside with Flight Factor, I actually like it. I rarely have had any troubles with it. I started saying that, then all of a sudden it's had troubles. So hopefully today will not do the same to me. But I lost my train of thought. Oh, it stinks being 60. Okay, here we go. Parking brake off. McGuire traffic. Reach 25 heavy, taxi to runway 24 for takeoff. And don't worry if people are playing at MidAmerica and they're on the 1.4s, I'll be nice and switch. Because like I said, I'm not running weather. Okay, coming out of here at McGuire, we'll take November to Gulf to Delta to the runway. So again, hope everyone's having a fantastic Monday. An hour into the stream, it's on the move. Oh, I think I turned on, yep, I did. Meant to turn on the wing lights for the side of the aircraft, not the collision lights on the wingtips. All right. But again, hope you're all having a great Wednesday. It is hump day. Yes, that's right. Means we're getting over the hump, headed for the weekend. Many of you are already in that mode. Some, this is their weekend. So I hope y'all are having great times. A lot going on in my life, a lot. And we'll be talking with you up in flight. You mean Wednesday, Mike, right? Yeah, I did. It's hump day. Wednesday. As the commercial here for Geico used to say, hump day. Mike, 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 Mike. We're over the hump and headed for the weekend. But welcome in, Godspeed. Glad to have you aboard. As we take the Flight Factor 767, hopefully, to MidAmerica. Like I said, it's been problematic here lately. A lot of things have been problematic. This was and always has been one of my most, rock steady aircraft, but late, it's gotten a little, what's going on with it? So hopefully it got through all of that. Now the version I have here of the KC46, again, as I said earlier, I'm going to put the link to how you can get on it. Is a, gosh, I can't remember how many came with it, 12, 10, I forget the number, but that's how you can get the livery. To get the 767, all you do is exclamation mark 767. I make it tough, don't I? And get that extended version, the in between. I don't know if the professional has the 200 in it, but I do know, obviously, the extended does, because that's what's on the deck here. And with those liveries, like I said, there's like 10 or 12 in it. There's a bunch. And most of them for New Hampshire Air Reserve Base up at Portsmouth. Old Pease Air Force Base, those of you from that time. Yes, they are, and it's supposed to be free, Mr. Godspeed, so we're desperately hoping they'll be dropping here soon. But when Flight Factor uses the word soon, well, those of you that have the 777, how long did the word soon take to get the airplane available? Hey, and here's good and bad. If you gotta wait for a plane, maybe that means it's going to be without bugs. No, not in that case. Not in the case of many things of late. They rush them in only so we'll just fix it when it gets out there. They could have done that with all the time they took getting to that point. But then again, I don't do that for a living, so I don't know. All right, there's a runway in front of us. Let's do our final checks and prepare for takeoff. Okay, runway holding, speed brakes are down, runway lights, we'll leave them on. It's funny. Taxi lights on and MCP set. Armed, on. Transponder TARA. Interesting thing, the 737 wants you to blank the bottom screen. I guess that's where the error messages would come in. Not the 767. That's not on the checklist. McGuire area traffic, reach 25 heavy. Will be departing 25 after the back taxi. Not to say I don't think I could have made it, but I'm of the belief if you've got that much runway there that's displaced, you might as well use it. It's very embarrassing to talk to someone had you not gone all the way down to the end of the runway and took off from there if something bad happens. All right, brakes set. Here we go, throttling up. Hold on. TO2. All right, here we go. Rolling. $80 knots. Rotate. Gear up. Now this is a lot different than a piston plane. You could literally wait till the end of the runway. You could actually land on your wheels. You want to get these wheels up quickly. Main reasons. Hang on. Aerodynamics. The problem, and I do see one little itty bitty problem. This airplane grabs speed really quick, and you saw we were over speeding the flaps. So hopefully, unlike the 747 we fly, we didn't damage them. If you do that in the 747-200, yes, you could damage them. Okay. Flaps are up. All right, what we'll do, we'll at least get around the airport, and then, actually, I'm going to move that out a little. And then we'll climb up. By nags, we'll be, well, probably above 10,000. Unless a center comes up and foils us. Oh, New York Center is up. They could foil us. Interesting. I have range showing up on my radar. Very interesting. And we'll see if they want us to switch over or not. Yeah, actually, they'll tell us if they want. Okay, back to Unicom. I have to say, I think that's a first to have. And we'll double check here in a minute, but all right, we're on our way. Coming up to Jimdo, then over to Bolme, and then Nags. Oh my goodness, does that crack me up? There we go. Oh, that was good. Hopefully, Flight Factor can get that on their list to be fixed too. And they may wait for 2.0 on that one. So, because there'll probably be a lot of other fixes coming before the radars. So there are some things that they could definitely use some help with it, X-Plane on the weather. But overall, they have got a spectacular system. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy. We're about at some point here, New York Center will call us. Probably when I start climbing off nags. So I can get above Philly. So anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day, and I'm just going to put this out there. That verse of the day you see there, there's a lot in my life, like I told you going on earlier. This verse really spoke to a lot of it. And it really puts a perspective in it that, most people don't know because they aren't part of the body of Christianity. And don't necessarily understand how we're to clothe ourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Unless you've given your life to Christ and have studied and learned about the life of Christ, it's really hard to understand how through some of the trials and stuff that just happens in life, how to clothe ourselves with compassion still, and kindness and humility and gentleness and patience. So I mean, we all know there's those kind of people, and but I'll get into a little more, and I won't get into specifics. If you are looking for that, it's not going to happen. But I think suffice to say, it's a good lesson that Paul was giving the Colossians there at Colossae. Took me a while to find that area. By the way, the cruise ships go through an interesting channel there from, I can't think of the name of the sea on the other side to the Aegean. It's really, I kind of want to take that cruise and kind of go through there. Almost looks like you could put your hand up against the rock, doesn't matter what side of the ship, and feel the rocks. Almost feels like that when you look at how close they are. Think Panama Canal, except there's no wall of rocks going above the ships. There he is. I knew he was gonna not let me get away too long. 125, 325. And New York Center reach 25 heavies with you, 6,000 approaching nags, getting ready for our climb. Maybe. Got to be on 25, Mike. Got to be on 25.
I need this up and advise ready for taxi. Wind is 310 at 12, gust 21.
Ready for taxi, 529 Juliet Mike. I assume it's going to be 34 via Kilo Lima.
529 Juliet Mike, runway 34, taxi by Kilo Lima.
34 via Kilo Lima, I called it.
Yeah, New York Center reached 25 heavy. Out of McGuire, coming up on Nags, getting ready for a climb to 40,000.
Reach 25 New York Center. Hello, radar contact. 6 miles, correction, 15 miles southwest of the Robbinsville VOR. Climb to maintain 17,000.
Climb to 17,000 out of 6,000. Reach 25. We're direct MXE.
Reach 25, thanks.
Type 1763 back.
Welcome back.
Said 17.
Air Canada 7042, descend and maintain 1,000.
1,000, Air Canada 7042. New York Air France 991.
Air France 991, go ahead.
Is it possible to step away for 10 minutes or so?
Air France 991, affirmative, advise when you're back.
Roger, we'll call back 991, thank you.
United 1005, holding short runway 22 right at Whiskey at Newark.
United 18 Heavy, sorry about that. Turn left turn heading 010, intercept the localizer.
Left heading 010, no worries.
I'm sorry, aircraft calling for taxi, say again.
United 1005, holding short runway 22 right at Whiskey in Newark.
United 1005, New York Center, hello, wind 230 at 7, runway 22 right, or sorry about that, I have an aircraft still coming in on 4 right, so I'm gonna have to hold you for a second.
And King Air 5 Mike short 34, ready for departure.
Roger, stand by. Actually, United 1005, amend departure instructions. Fly heading 240. Wind 230 at 7, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
United 1005, clear for takeoff.
United 1005, confirm heading 240, please.
Heading 240, United 1005.
United 18 Heavy, descend and maintain 2,000. You're 3 miles from Greedy, maintain 2,000 until established on the clouds are cleared. ILS 4 right approach.
Cleared ILS 4 right and maintain 2,000 until established to United 18 Heavy.
Yeah, 18 Heavy, traffic's departing runway 22 right currently. They're going to be making a right turn on departure.
Watching out for traffic 18 Heavy.
Oh, man. I would like to see that in real life. Oh, but anyway, there we have it. So we figured out how the ex-pilot, where the problem was. Now I got to figure out.
529 Juliet, Mike, wind is, sorry, I can never find it. Wind 320 at 12, gust 21, runway 2, correction, runway 34, clear for takeoff, on course.
34 clear for takeoff on course, 9 Juliet, Mike.
Oh my goodness. Just take off on the runway. Oh, Lord have mercy. So
Reach
we are
25, climb and maintain level 400.
reach try that again. Reach 25 up to 400.
Reach 25, clear direct Bel Air, Alpha India Romeo.
Alpha India. Okay, at the same time, we'll go direct Bel Air, Alpha India Romeo, and we're climbing to 40,000. Set that in here.
Yeah, 1005 radar contact, say altitude.
Altitude.
United 1005, climbing flight level 5,000.
Yeah, 1005, turn right heading 270, climb and
So
maintain
we
6,000.
are direct.
Turn right heading 270, climb maintain 6,000, United 1005.
18 Heavy, you're coming a little close on the localizer. Would you be able to take a visual approach?
United 180, yeah, sure, we can do a visual as well.
Yeah, 18 Heavy, roger, the field's at your 1 o'clock, 8 miles, do you have it in sight?
Field is inside 1 Heavy, and traffic is as well.
18 Heavy, roger, the traffic's currently at 3,400, climbing 6,000.
Traffic is inside 1 Heavy.
United 18 Heavy, clear visual approach runway 4 right.
3,500.
Visual approach runway 4 right, so United 18 Heavy.
Air 529 Juliet, Mike, radar contacts, altitude.
We overshot our climb there, sending back down to 3,500. And 5 Joe Mike is now at 3,500.
9 Juliet, Mike, the field's at your, or dam area's at your 12 o'clock, 15 miles report in sight.
Roger, report inside. What's the runway in use out there?
9 Juliet, Mike, expect runway 24. Correction 26.
26 down there, Captain Joe Mike, will call in sight, but it won't be for a while because it's like right between 3 mountains.
10-05, clear direct white, climb and maintain 17,000.
Sometimes it is comical on VATSIM.
FedEx 1763.
Just gotta take it with a grain of salt
18 heavy,
sometimes.
wind 230 at 7,
Some
runway
people
4 right,
can't,
little
I
end.
get it, but boy, if you take it with a grain of salt, it's funny sometimes to listen to.
Was that Air Canada 966 requesting higher?
Negative for FedEx 1763.
Roger, what would you like?
FedEx 1763, yeah, we should be able to flight level 300 and above now.
FedEx 1763, roger, climb, maintain level 300.
Flight level 300, FedEx 1763.
See,
Air Canada 7042, descend and maintain
difference
8,000,
between the
Philadelphia,
European
this information,
pilots and
hotels,
the
turn,
US
expect vectors
will
for,
say flight
would you
level
like visual
300,
35 or ILS
they'll
27
say
right?
We'll set up for 27 right,
300 or
EMS
200
the same to
or
8,000.
what. It's just,
Roger, expect
that's
vectors
why
for the ILS
sometimes
27
it's
right approach.
fun to fly in other people's airspace to learn those little nuances. All right, we're on our way through 24,000, headed on up.
10-05, clear direct white, climb, maintain 17,000.
Air, I think, is where we come out of his airspace.
United 10-05, clear direct white, climb
Oh, no.
maintain 17,000.
We'll come out before Lejoy. We're going to be getting... Where are we headed?
Bearings 425, cross Troy's at and maintain 12,000 to Baltimore, altimeter 3007.
Well, okay.
Troy's had to
I'll
maintain
trust it,
12,000,
but right now,
and, we've
I'm
got
a
the
little
weather.
leery if we're...
Captain Joe Mike has the field in sight.
9 Juliet Mike, roger, enter left down and runway 26.
He'll tell me if I'm not going right.
Left down on runway 26, Captain Joe
Oh,
Mike.
you know, did I
Nine
hit
Juliet
the
Mike, is this the full
executes?
stop?
Yes.
Yes it is, but we'll be back up soon.
9 Juliet Mike, affirm, roger, wind. Sorry, I have like 8 or like 10 different winds that are up and I can't find it. Wind 26 at 16, gust 21, runway 26, clear to land.
26 clear to land, Captain Joe Mike, don't worry about it, New York's busy.
New York Center, hello, Japan Air 6 Heavy, flight level 390, direct X-Toll.
Speedbird 67, New York Center, hello.
Dude, I mean, if you just listen, they can be kind of fun. All right, let's pull up our overlay here.
United 1 Heavy, runway 4 right for cases.
Yeah, 18 heavy, cross runway 4 left on Kilo. Kilo, Sierra, or correction, where are you parking today?
United 1 Heavy, we would go for gate 80 if possible.
Yeah, 18 heavy, roger, taxi Kilo Alpha to the ramp, and you're good to cross runway 4 left on Kilo.
Kilo Alpha to the ramp and cross runway 4 left on Alpha, United 1 Heavy.
New York Center, hello, Japan Air
6 heavy, flight level 390.
Japan Air 6 Heavy, New York Center. You're still on my airspace. You can monitor my frequency. I'll call you when I need you.
Roger, Adrian.
I like that. He's getting busy, so he's starting to tell
New
people.
York Center,
I'll call
Virgin
you.
45 Alpha Heavy, very good. Afternoon, passing flight level 183, descending flight level 120 inbound, Charlie.
Charlie.
Virgin 45
Calverton.
Alpha, New York Center. Hello. Radar contact position as reported. Cross Calverton. Charlie. At and maintain 2,250 knots. The Kennedy altimeter 3001.
Cross at Calveron,
I'm starting to wonder if I
12,000
have.
and speed to 50 knots, altimeters 3001, Virgin 45 Alpha.
Virgin 45 Alpha, Kennedy 8 is Foxtrot's turn. Expect vectors ILS 22 left approach.
And information Foxtrot and expecting 22 left, vectors approach Virgin 45 Alpha.
Charlie.
United 1005, climb and maintain level 360.
I love that one. All right, we are through
Maintain flight level
almost
360,
34,000,
1005.
6,000 to go.
Air Canada 7042, clear direct Erie, descend and maintains 3,000.
Direct Erie 3000, gas 042.
Air Center, good evening. Speedbird 67 Heavy, passing flight level 274 for on the GEMS 4 arrival brakes transition and with plan 27 left into Philly.
Speedbird 67, New York Center, hello. Plan 27 right, descend and maintain level 200, hello.
Roger, descend 200 and we'll plan 27 right. We'll go with that for now, Speedbird 67.
Yeah, you're going to find out Philly's, I think, in his airspace. So, hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. We'd love to see those that are doing or watching us, as well as give us a subscribe if you haven't already. We're not simulcasting.
United
We
1005,
will
Washington
upload
Center,
the
close
video
radar
later
service,
tonight.
terminated frequency change approved, yeah.
Except for me. That's what I get for talking.
United 1005, Washington Center's closed, radar services
Not me.
terminated, frequency
Gotta
change
say,
approved,
I
yeah.
thought I am getting close.
And Fernando Mike off on Alpha 2, going to roll.
Juliet Mike, taxi Alpha, I'm sorry, where are you going again?
I'm going to Reliance all the way at the other end.
Confirm this was for United 18?
Negative. Number 9, Juliet Mike, taxi Alpha, to the ramp and cross runway 35 on Alpha.
Alpha, the ramp
That's
cross
got to
35
be
at
hard
Alpha.
for
I thought
centers
you
to
rejected my
handle
attack
the
to the
ground. They ought to turn them over to taxi on CTAFs.
Springs 425, Potomac approaches closed, radar services terminated, frequency change approved, have a good landing.
Over to Unicom, thanks for the ATC, have a good day.
We should be getting...
United 1005, Washington Center's closed, radar services terminated, frequency change approved, see ya.
We're going to be getting
Frequency
close
change
too.
approved. Thank you and have a great day.
You too.
Got a little ways to go.
New York, first line on back.
Air France 991, welcome back.
Unless he does part of Cleveland too. Anyway, welcome folks. I'm glad. Look at this. We made it to cruise. Hallelujah. Let's see if we can now make it to MidAmerica, Scott Air Force Base.
United 18, just for information, we changed gate to 68.
Roger.
So if I'm a little quiet right now, folks, it is because I'm expecting a handoff here in the next 5-10 minutes at the most. Probably sooner, but that's up to him. You know, it's looking pretty busy there in New York's airspace. Yeah, I guess we are headed towards air. Just sometimes that little arc, you know, that we do, that you pronounced when you go across
Japan Air 6, cross Lolly at and maintain level 200.
Just enough to make it look like you're not direct
Lolly
to the right
at
fix.
and maintain flight level 200, Japan Air 6.
Virgin 45 Alpha Heavy, descend and maintain 9,000.
Descend and maintain 9,000, Virgin 45 Alpha.
Speedbird 67, cross Briggs at and maintain 14,000. The McGuire altimeter 3000.
Hey, I know that place. Where I took off from.
Roger, pass Briggs at maintain 15,000. Pass at 15,000 and the McGuire altimeter 3000, Speedbird 67.
Speedbird 67, confirm Briggs at 14,000.
14,000 at Briggs, Speedbird 67.
FedEx 1763, Cleveland Center's closed, radar services terminated, frequency change approved, have a good flight.
Frequency change is approved, FedEx
Oh, he's going up to
1763.
Buffalo, or is he going to? No, he's going to Toronto. That looks like he got a nice break.
Air Canada 7042, turn right heading 180.
Right 180, Air Canada 7042.
All right, we're in cruise.
Japan Air 6, can you confirm the altitude we need to cross Lolly at again? Sorry.
Japan Air 6, no worries, cross Lolly at and maintain level 200.
Gotcha, must have misheard. Flight level 200, Japan Air 6.
They're on.
Virgin 45 Alpha Heavy, turn right heading 270, descend and maintain 5,000, vectors ILS T2 left approach.
I know this guy does a great job
Left
every time
heading,
in the
going to
center
right heading
slot.
270, descend 5,000, vectors ILS approach runway 22 left, Virgin 45 Alpha.
Air Canada 7042, turn right heading 240, intercept 27 right localizer.
240, intercept 27 right localizer, Air Canada 7042.
Huh. Interesting. I love looking at where some of the people are flying to and from.
Air Canada 7042, 1 mile from Martin, maintain 3,000 until establishment localizer cleared, ILS 27 right approach.
3,000 until Martin and clear ILS 27 right approach, Air Canada 7042.
Confirm ILS 27 right approach.
27 right approach, Air Canada 7042.
Reach 25, Cleveland Center's closed, radar services terminated, have a great flight.
All right, over to Unicom, reach 25. Great job as always. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
All right, we're on Unicom now, verified. Welcome in, folks. I know we've been kind of not chatting a lot about the stream, but we are flying for Sim Air Force. They are a great virtual special operations group. Now, what differs there? Let me rephrase that. Not virtual, VATSIM special operations group. What that allows you to do as a member, and you put that in your remarks, allows you to fly into the restricted areas, do dogfighting, air refueling, formation, cargo drops, things you would expect out of the military, ground pounding with the aircraft, preferably not the aircraft hitting the ground to pound it, but some people think that's what that means. But that, if you give us join, we get you trained up, you're able to fly those kind of missions. I'm flying a KC46, technically a tanker. Problem, and I haven't tried this yet with anyone, is can we actually, well, I know we can't transfer fuel, not with this version, but it would be cool if we could. We could in FSX with some of the aircraft, they were actually had the ability to transfer fuel. We could lower the booms. However, the technology back then was that you'd be trying to remember how it worked, and anyone that might be on Sim Air Force, either to us you looked a mile away, or to, like, if we're air refueling the platform, the plane would look a mile away, but it would be in pre-connect and contact and all of that positions, or the other way around. And but once we got within a certain level, some programs out there would click on allowing us to transfer, which was kind of cool. X-Plane is not really geared, I don't think, yet for military. Most flight sims aren't. I'm not going to speak to the other world. I have no idea what they cannot do. Other than to say, it's good to see the military airports modeled a lot better than they used to be. So give us a try at Sim Air Force. It's crew.simairforce, all one word, simairforce.com. And I'd love to help you get going, and we get you on some missions. So actually right now I don't think we have any scheduled missions to fly yet, but just getting people up to snuff with flying formations and different procedures and flight profiles for different weapon employments and all. And by the way, you will find many of the pilots here that do fly for Sim Air Force actually were real world military pilots, be it cargo, bomber, fighters, and some with combat experience. So it's really been a great 20 or so years for me being here. It's been I still can't believe it has been nearly 20 years I've been with Sim Air Force. So it's just unbelievable, but it's been a great ride. I've enjoyed it. So most of the time, this is what we do, just like you do an airline, fly from one point to another point. Now, you could do touch and goes and stuff like that to get used to your plane more, but, just like the real world guys do. So we'll kind of see how this plays out. But anyway, I really do hope you're enjoying. I do want to speak a little bit into the verse of the day, a little further than what I kind of introed it with. Again, reading it from Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. Actually, if you read on through 17, it gets even more as to how we as Christians really should act towards our brother and sister. I can't ask those that haven't given their lives to Christ. That's something they have to come to, as they say, come to Jesus about. But Therefore God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, some versions say meekness, and patience. Meekness is a word in the Bible that kind of gets people, what does that really mean? Means you're weak? No. Gentle. Deliver things gently to people. You don't have to just, unfilter what you say. Filter a little bit. Make it a little easier on them. They're already going through a rough patch. We don't need to pile on. We're all sinners, so hate to break it to y'all. Like I said, if you haven't come to Christ, you may not understand that, but we all do not live up to God's standard. We're all should, by the penalty of what sin means, should be dead. But by the grace of God, through Jesus Christ, we continue to breathe. Every breath we take is a breath of grace. So just keep that in mind before we start judging people, judging situations, judging, yes, there'll be a day when Christians will be judging. It's not today, folks. It's not today. We're here to help one live a life that's compassionate, that's kind, that pours out humility and gentleness and patience with people going through or have issues in their lives they've been dealing with, and just having, or just won't or can't get past. So we have to learn how to, it doesn't mean we go, oh man, okay, yeah, that's fine. No, no. We still show kindness, and God will sort it out in the end, no matter what. So, like I said, I've got a couple issues going on in both diametrically opposite ends of the spectrums. And sometimes you just take it day by day and inch by inch to find what was lost and restore it. So, and in other situations, we just have to, people, they mess up. And we just got to be open and hope what they need, they find in getting over the sinful lives they lead. God will show them the ways. They just have to be open to the door God opens for them. So, that's not as easy to do without getting into details. And if I go much further, I will start spewing details. So I'm going to take my own advice here and just kind of leave it there. But I hope in some way the Holy Spirit or God makes that all make sense. And I hope you have a better understanding. Being a Christian, Jesus said it's not going to be an easy life. It's going to be hard. And we frail humans make it even harder. But again, through the blood of Jesus Christ, he died on that cross. we're going to, it seems weird to say this, we're going to celebrate that in a couple of Sundays in April here. Well, about midway through April. April 20th, I think it is Easter. Or thereabouts. And it's hard to say the word celebrate, but we are. But we're celebrating the resurrection. He died. Yes, Jesus came down from heaven. Think about that. God came down from heaven. And not only did he come down to live with us, he came down in the absolute most innocent form, a baby. He could have came down as you or I, as a full-grown human, but no, he chose to come down as a baby and live the entire life a human lives, to only be killed a criminal's death, that he there was no capital crime put forth. They just didn't like their authority being taken from them, which they didn't realize came from God. So, but he died. He died for all of our sins, folks. 2,000 years ago, he died for your sins. That's amazing. I mean, as the song says, I'm a wretch. And he died for me. And all my problems and all the things that I'm not worth. But yet he died for me. All I have to do is open myself up and repent from my sins. And everyone in the sound of my voice has sinned, whether you want to believe it or not. Repent. And that blessing is yours. That you're forgiven of your misdeeds. But the repentance has to be pure. You have to freely repent, not because you're guilty or this or that. No, freely come to God and say, I screwed up, or I'm screwing up. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what I did. And that there begins the process of sanctifying you to the presence of, gives you the opportunity to bring your requests before God. Then, if you really get and start learning who Jesus was, oh my goodness, your eyes open up so much more to what God has for us if we just follow in his ways. So I hope that all comes, makes a lot of sense to you. Doing it kind of off the cuff. You do this prior to going online, it always sounds so much better. So I really hope it made some sense, and I hope I got to some people out there. And I really do hope you all have a great week. God bless you, as we're still about just under an hour from our destination. Thank you for allowing me this time. And thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. And I hope you come and stand. You will one day stand before Jesus. An interesting story I heard once out on the road driving. You guys, some of you out there will know the name of the radio host who has since passed. What a great radio host. Art Bell. But he did a 5-hour radio show every night, overnight. So basically, the third shift crews could hear him. And you get the picture. It was completely unscreened phone calls in the beginning. Then he started getting into more and more guests. Well, one of those days where he was completely unscreened phone calls, and streamers, you know what I'm going to say here. We come to the table here. We have some things we want to talk about. Okay. Well, so do radio guys. They come. They have a list of little topics to help keep the night going, keep the phone ringing, and so forth. And here's one of the topics he said, and I want you all to think about it. I'll give you my answer here. Give you a few minutes to think on it. But this is what he hit, and it was meant, and it was 100% aimed squarely to light the phone lines up, which it did. And forgive me, I don't remember the whole backstory of how he came to this question, but it was a really good question. Aimed at Christians. So I'm going to aim it at Christians. Non-Christians may not understand. And I don't mean to be offensive by that, but you just may not. When we die, our spirits go into an eternity, if you didn't know that. You're either going to heaven or the HE double hockey stick place, hell. Hell is not the place most people want to go. Many don't even think that really happens. Well, I'm sorry. You look at these bodies, folks, and what we're capable of, what we can do versus other so-called animals that people say we really are. Yeah, I get the behavior of some. I could see that. But we have a soul. That's why we got to love God with our heart, our mind, and our soul. All of it. And our strength. And when we die, that spirit comes out of us and goes into one of two places. Sorry, purgatory is not one of them. At least not in or written about in the Bible. Let's put it that way. All I know, I've never died, so I don't know. That I know of. Anyway, so you go up. And many believe you're going to go to heaven, and that's where they go. You go down, you go up. You go down, you go up. Okay, so you're in the line, you're coming up. There's Jesus and Peter there, ready to let you know where you're headed. All of a sudden, as you're approaching, you notice the person in front of you. Pick your most wanted serial killer, most scariest serial killer. Pick a criminal that just, you read about, you saw, you heard. Really, they murdered, I don't know, 500,000 people. Who knows? Okay. In his example, it was Charles Manson. Now, for those who don't know, Helter Skelter, a very, very person. Anyway, that's the kind of person. Next person up from you, you're there after him. And Jesus goes, welcome, go to heaven. What does that do to your faith? You can see now how Art Bell aimed it right at Christians. A very well-pointed question for Christians to think through. What would that do for your faith if you saw the most heinous, despicable person in the world? God could never forgive that person to allow him into heaven. Or her, because there are some pretty sick women too, folks. Don't get me wrong. Throughout history. What would that do to your faith? That was probably the most interesting hour of radio I listened to, because he threw a couple other, topics to the table, but that one was definitely going to be the one to take for the night. And he knew it going in. If he didn't, how did he stay in broadcasting as long as he did? Here's my take. There is only one sin in the world God will not forgive: blaspheming Jesus and the Holy Spirit. You could kill people, you could steal, con them, rape them, whatever. And if you truly come to Jesus, repented for your actions. Now, let's get something squared away. Forgiveness does not mean we agree, we've let you off the hook. Oh no, there are still consequences for your actions. And those will be dealt with as well. However, you ever heard of a jailhouse confession to the Lord? Those are null and void, I take it? In many people's minds, yes. What about the person who's lived the party life, did everything they wanted to do, and has the pronouncement, we'll start there, that they have terminal cancer and will die in 6 months. Throughout that 6 months, they find their way to Jesus. Does that not count? Or deathbed confession. If a person truly repents, truly prays to God, prays to Jesus for the forgiveness of the sins, as heinous as they may be, aside from blaspheming the Holy Spirit and God, that is actually scriptural, that if you blaspheme this Holy Spirit, that is unforgivable. That is the unforgivable sin. You will be forgiven. The tough part is turning from that life, that turning, that repentance. That's a tough one. Many do actually fully repent when they do their jailhouse or bedside, or, they come to Jesus so late in life. And think about that long and hard. What would that do to your faith to see a murderer, or pick your crime of passion, be accepted into heaven? Whether you or not, that wasn't part of the topic. What does that do to your faith? See what I mean? It opens up a huge can of worms and a lot to deal with. Many Christians, I don't think ever, many get it on the surface. Maybe they don't dig and realize everybody's different. But if you truly repent, turn from your sins, God will forgive you. In turn, we're supposed to forgive. Doesn't mean we accept. We put that over to God and Jesus. We take that stress, that anguish. It's still going to be there, the hurt or the loss or the whatever happened. But we take the underlying anchor, if you will. I know I've used that already. And we give that over to God so we don't get better. We don't do things we would totally regret out of an unforgiving heart. Because remember, God will not forgive someone who won't forgive. That's also in the scripture. So we have to learn to forgive. And it's hard. I mean, I've listened to things and seen things and had things done to me. It's a hard road to forgive someone. Truly forgive. Oh yeah, you can sit there and go, yeah, I forgive you. But do you truly mean it? That's when you see someone on TV after they murdered someone or killed someone in there, to sit there on TV and say, I can honestly say I forgive you, doesn't mean they're letting you off the hook. They're letting you off the hook into which they're going to leave it for God and Jesus to deal with. I really wouldn't want to have them dealing. If you read anything in Exodus or Deuteronomy or any of those first 5 books, whew, I would not want that on anyone. God's wrath. So, anyway, got a little off the track there, but I think I stayed on track, if that makes sense. So, I hope you all do have a blessed rest of your days, and looking forward to getting into Scott Air Force Base here in about 45 minutes or so. And folks, if you need someone to talk to, I am open, available most times, especially right now since I've been unemployed for nearly a year. Just let me know through my Discord channel here. We can set up a time to meet privately on Discord. Believe it or not, you can do that privately, and we can talk. So, all right, now yesterday's flight we had Discord up mainly because we were still tinkering with this new audio mixing system we're working with. Thanks to Bad Attitude's help, we've gotten quite a bit working, and I figured out if Bad Attitude happens to be out there, thank you for being out there. I figured out my X-Pilot issue, got that one solved. I'll ask some questions next time we're together, talking on Discord. But I'm going to keep it quiet today. We're just going to enjoy the flight, and promise I'm done talking for a little bit. We'll continue on. We don't have any centers ahead of us, so I will be right back. I do need to use the lav, and then we'll set up for the arrival. Currently, since we don't have looking out the window, it's hard to believe, but I did set this up to where there was no weather. I think it lied to me. We're setting up for a 3-2 right, so we'll see if that's what's in store for us there at MidAmerica. I'll be right back. All right, we are on our way. Welcome back. Actually, I've also kept the music at a minimum. So, gonna work on that hopefully later today or tomorrow and have that workable into a better mix. So, we're trying. By the way, if the aircraft sounds, not the ATC, if you hear, the different VATSIM ATCs, specify, because I can turn the volume up and down on the stream accordingly. But if the aircraft sounds are too much, just like I already know, oh God, this one's going to blow eardrums. Hang on, I'm going to go ahead, turn it down. That wasn't as bad as I thought. But say like when we're outside, if that's too loud, let me know, please. So I know how to set the different aircraft that we fly. So I am working on that. But thank you so much for all your suggestions and all through the years, especially routes. That really helps. I do look at other streamers only to see where they're going and get ideas for where we could maybe go in a week or two or three. I got a couple of others I'm trying to work in here, and this one I actually thought about going to San Antonio, Kelly Air Force Base, but chose to break it off at the 2-hour mark instead of a 4-hour flight. We'll kind of see how things are when we get there into MidAmerica, actually Scott Air Force Base, and see from there what we can do, what other interesting things we could do. So, but we are trying to improve things here. I want to thank Bad Attitude for showing me this. This I did not know. It's all around that desktop audio, and boy, I didn't know now we could break things away from that, and wow, pretty cool. I do thank you, sir. Oh, there goes one of those prime delivery vehicles. I always laugh at them. Anyway, KC46, 40,000 feet and about 30 minutes out. Let's get in here and see what lies ahead. Like, for one, how far out are we? 124 miles. Now, I am gonna... Let's see here. Now did that work? I don't know. I'll have to check and see. We worked on something on Discord yesterday, and it doesn't appear to have worked. Again, not jumping any guns. We'll just kind of see. All right, currently, let's bring charts in. All right, and some of the neat features, if you have heard of this program and thought about it and haven't brought it on board with this push of VATSIM wanting you to be up to date with FMCs, with charts, and so forth, this is it. This is that program. Some of the countries are very difficult to find charts for if you fly abroad like I do. This brings them all. I have had one airport, and I want to say I've had this now a year and a half, maybe. I hope I'm not stretching that, but I've had it for quite a long time. One airport did not show. And thankfully it was a visual day and we visually landed. So that's my point. You have up-to-date charts here. So when they tell you to do something, you can look on the chart and go, okay, yeah, we can do that. And your FMC is up to date to be able to accept that. So, like today, I could have opted for the RNAV. Let's take a look at the weather here. 280 at 7. Guess what that means? Yeah, we're going to come in on 3-2. Most likely, we're not going to have any winds. Most likely. But who knows? I mean, we're seeing more weather than I expected. Maybe I set it for this, so please bear with me. I may have not set it to clear, but set it to like KVOC or something like that, and that's why we see it. Altimeter 3025. We'll kind of know that more as we're descending. If the altimeter is actually 3025, we're going to be like 300 something on the ground. Wait, went the wrong way. Let's see if we land at 2992. I went the wrong way, folks. It would be higher than 460-ish feet on our altimeters. I went the wrong way in my mind. I do that all the left and right runways. Oh my gosh, north and south. Oh, they drive me nuts. But it's the cross I bear for being old. All right. Now, the one bad thing right now with my setup is VATSIM X Pilot is only hearable for you guys when it's visible. And I'm trying to figure out how to make it not so. You know, so it's here anytime. And I may have a thought on that one. We'll see. So what's the rest of your work weeks looking like? Hopefully they're looking great so that you can get into that weekend. I know opening day is but a day away for some. For others, still a couple days, or home openers, I should say. I know the Cardinals fire back up tomorrow at home, and I kind of laugh at the weathermen. Well, you already know I do that. But, and I always go, you know, it would be just so much fun to see it snow. And of course, many will say, well, it doesn't do that on opening day. Yeah, actually, we've had a couple of snow outs on opening day. I actually was a courier here in St. Louis delivering stuff. We got 4 inches of snow, if memory served, on opening day. They had to cancel it. I died laughing. Poor billionaires couldn't go out on the field. Oh, it's too cold. It's snowing. Oh, my. I don't have a lot of respect for baseball. Sorry, folks. Anyway, but it was fun. That was fun driving around in it. Oh. The amount of money they make, they ought to play in no matter what kind of conditions. Take the roofs off the buildings and everything. All right, well, we're coming into Indianapolis, so we'll be starting down, it looks like, on the nav display in about 70 or so miles. Not bad. Pretty good guess. Sorry for coughing in your ears. Oh. Thankfully, we were in an ad break. Okay, and hopefully... Again, sorry for the cough there in your ears. Oh, that came on out of nowhere. Oh, yeah. Doubt Auto ATC will do anything for MidAmerica. But it would have been interesting. See, that's why the other reason I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not every airport, just the select few. All right, so we are closing in on about 20 minutes out from Scott Air Force Base. And this aircraft will RON tonight at Scott. And I don't know when we'll fly it out again. But been a nice flight, to say the least. We had a great controller in New York and great flights so far. Great people on board. We had torched medic follow us. And glad to have you all aboard. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of your Wednesday hump day to be a part of Flying with Mike. What the? Oh, I was trying to figure out what is on my other screen. Oh, no, it was a web page I was on. Okay. Like, what the heck? So... And it looks like so far no controllers coming up in Kansas City like they have the last couple of days. Oh, whoa, we did get Auto ATC for here. Somebody was listening at VATSIM. Woke them up. 28,000. Let me double check that clearance from Clarence. And I just got rid of it. Doggone it. Oh, man. All right, well, I'm sure it said descend to flight level 280. We will not separate you between peoples. And fly the Centralia to arrival. Which is until we get down to Centralia, 11500, to fly the approach. Oh, we are not descending. Hey, let's make this thing descend. What do you think? Go to descent. You can click descend now. It's going to say, hey, I need some drag because I want to slow you down to that speed. And no. Let it do its thing. And if it's not enough for you, take it and go into VS and set it yourself. For the Centralia, the big thing here is to be at Eichel, which is 10 miles out of Centralia, 7,000 feet. And that's towards the airport, not coming in. So we'll plan 10. See, 28 7 is 21. 20 times 360. Let's call it 70 miles from Centralia. We need to make sure we're descending, and we'll descend to 10,000. But for now, we'll take it nice and easy down to 28,000. It got real quiet at the base, so I'm not hearing things flying overhead anymore. Okay, let's get our numbers in. You know what I wanted to look at, and I'm going to do that right now. Approach RNAV. I'll stick to the ILS. I don't... Wait a minute, was that left or right I was looking at? That was right. Never heard those fixes before. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, we'll stick with the ILS. Let's set the frequency up downstairs. 111.15. 1.5. Heading at least 3.2. How about 3.19? Over here, let's set 8. Huh, I didn't know we didn't have a flip-flop here. Huh, interesting. Anyway, what we set up was our localizer, which is 111.15. Our heading or course 319, and our initial fix or final fix GUI, which is approximately 5 miles out, and that is actually an NDB. So when, let's see if I could show it. Can I put one of these? Yeah. So if I'm in NDB, the arrow, straight lined arrow, will be pointing to it, and when it flips to go behind us, we flew over it. Same thing if you're in VOR, by the way, RMI. Okay, we are set up on that. All right, let's go through the descent checks. 80 miles out, we're going to keep the seatbelt sign in auto. Let me make sure that's where I put it. No, I did not. Okay, I let them out of their seats now. FMC, let's go ahead, set that so we don't forget it. Go to the approach reference page, looks like 124. So we'll come in at about 130-ish. Oh wait, yeah, auto brakes we can use. Reverse, we're not supposed, I don't think this aircraft has reverse thrust. Not 100% sure on that. So we're going to operate without it. Hopefully I remember. Other than that, we are, how we doing? 34,000. I am going to go ahead and open us up for our descent. The cool thing about having the pilot up here, I can tell when centers and approaches come up to check. Kind of nice, but got to figure out something with this because it's annoying as all get out. But hey, at least it's working. Okay, we're 80 miles. Oh, here comes the first officer, our 1-year-old. Yes, yes, yes. You want to come here? Okay. You want to try to fly the plane? You going to do a better job than me? Yeah, she is doing a better job than me.
She woke up.
You woke up?
And then I sat in the chair with her. She fell asleep in my lap for like 30 more minutes.
You're a turkey. Yes, you. Yes, you. You're a turkey. Funny story with her. She is blowing out pants because while she's 12 months old, she's almost to the size of 18-month. So we're hoping the 18-month-old clothes she has will last at least a month or two. But that is awesome how she's just growing like a weed. So that is just awesome. All right, time to steepen this descent up. We're going to come down to 10,000. All right, and the descent has steepened. All right, we're at 2,000, we'll call it 300 feet a minute, and we're coming in. I hope y'all have enjoyed this flight. It's been a blast. Nice takeoff from McGuire. Great controller there in New York Center. Always does a great job. My only problem with going out of JFK is I always seem to have frame rate issues. And that is just the only annoyance I have out of there. Not the controllers. I just don't want to disrespect them and dropping, and it's just not fair to them. So that's a lot of the reason why I don't fly online out of JFK. Newark and LaGuardia. Now here's the funny part. LaGuardia is 10 miles away and I don't have a lot of troubles. I know JFK is just such a big airport, big intense traffic. And you throw any of these things called clouds into it, it just really, let's just see what kind of frame rates we're getting right now. Took me a second. What was I looking for? Now we're in the 30s. I'll take it anytime. When we get on the ground, I hope someone out there who's watching right now lets me know to check the weather setting. So because I'm really starting to wonder what I set. Totally honest, totally transparent here, folks. I really don't know. All right. Now we're going to get seatbelt signs on. Okay, wing lights are on. All right, we're coming in. Put your predictions in, folks. Love to know them. And again, thanks for flying with Mike today. She's getting a little antsy. Temps to rise is the forecast in front of me. What are we at right now? Because I know it's a beautiful day out there. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Okay, just getting caught up on emails and such. All right, I just thought they kind of changed things on me. That's kind of weird. All right, so we're descending. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at 2992 because I believe that's where we're at. We'll find out here in a minute. If I look really low to the ground, then I know, oh, you might want to get up. Move the altimeter. No, won't be that way. It'll be too high. But yeah, we turned the weather off. We found that that seems to help a lot with the crash to desktops we've been getting. And it always seems with X-Plane 12, with this plane, it's some kind of object not recognized that does it. What that object is, where, who knows? And maybe malicious, who knows? I don't know. Not going down that conspiratorial track, even though I'm very good at conspiracies. But I am grateful we got this far. And be on the ground here in about 10 minutes or so. No touch and goes. I don't know how that reacts with our ACAR system. So I don't want to cause troubles there and possible rejects and all of that. So we're just going to come in, do a landing, park it, and decide from there. Or shut the ACAR. I don't know if no, it automatically does it. This Smart Cars 3, I'm still not 100% sold on. But it's not me that has to be sold on it. It's the pilot. It's the owners of the VAs. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to come over Centralia and head for the airport. All right, we need to set 128.25. $28,250. Now, common misconception of pilots out here that you need to be on that common traffic frequency. Hang on a second. It's not going right. Here at your transition. No, technically 5 miles out from the airport. When you would normally get handed off to tower, that's when you need to switch over. 5 to 10 miles out from the airport. Very rarely. Now, this is an airport where they sometimes hand off a distance out for a visual or something. And but really, honestly, until you're on that localizer, at least, you don't need to be on the common traffic freak. And that's why I kind of wish centers would relinquish, but I I get it. It's a controlled towered airport, and that's why it's just, okay, I've got my lights on, right? No, now I do. You know, it's that little catch-22. All right, set our heading. All right, okay, so we'll head out here to Hovitz as we come down to 7,000, and then we start our descent to 2,500. One other big quirk with this plane is it is a pain to try to get to slow down. So if you're on top of it, it really helps. That's why I'm slowing to 220 early. And I'm going to just get ready to drop this thing as soon as we level off. Okay, we're level. About another 2 miles, and then I'm gonna get us set for, go ahead and do that now. Okay, 111.5319 set. And I am gonna By the way, the airport is dead ahead. All right. Now we're going to slow to 140. Like I said, we're going to get the gear down. Another notch of flaps. The gear really helps in slowing this airplane up. And all you got to do is click the speed brake button to activate it for being armed. Not really sure why it went to the left, but we'll get her on track here. Up there's the runway. Oh wait, that was Scott's runway. We're still headed over this way. Yeah, MidAmerica, Scott Air Force Base traffic reach 25 heavy. Approximately 5-mile final for 32 right full stop. All right, we are going to be landing. Stable, missed approach altitude set, and we're stable. Missed approach is to Troy if need. Oh, I'm sorry, back to GUI. My bad, back to GUI on this one. And Scott Air Force Base traffic reach 25 heavy, about a 3-mile final, 32 right.
Minimums.
Landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, wow. I just looked over. Yeah, 19 feet a minute. That felt like it. Now we'll see what they actually tell us in our brief outs. By the way, yes, I accidentally put her in idle reverse and took it back out. Like I said, I heard a rumor this aircraft does not have that feature, the reverse thrust, just like the KC135Rs. And Scott traffic reach 25 is off at taxiway Gulf, taxi to Scott's side. I don't know, we'll find a parking spot. All right, what was the altimeter reported here? 3025. Nope. Oh. All right. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Yeah, we got a little bit of a longer taxi over to here. We could park on the Air National Guard ramp. It's just not really conducive for the aircraft. To be honest, I don't even know where they really park them over there. So I'm just going to park in front of base ops. Somebody will be out taking pictures, I'm sure, as I pull up. But again, I hope you enjoyed this fun flight. We made it to Scott Air Force Base. And I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, there's a lot of scenery I wish they could have put in, but you gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt. I mean, this is better than they've done most military bases in the flight simming community in the last 5 years. They have really focused on them, and they look a lot better. How do you some say, well, what was the difference? Well, now Scott normally, I think, looked like this, but many of the bases out there was just a runway. No ramps, no taxiways, just a runway. Many GA airports, even to this day, are kind of like that, but they're getting better. And they, it took somebody to come in and update them to give you a better feel for the ramp. By the way, that's the Air National Guard ramp. No, they do not have KC-10s here. They have KC-135s. You know what? Let's just go ahead, park here. No, we're already past where they usually go in at. But yeah, it would be neat if they could come out with a 707 default aircraft for places like this, or 737s, which the C-40 is based off of, the 737-700. Actually, let me be more specific, the BBJ. Flaps are coming up. I just realized, thanks for, I'm glad I went outside the airplane. Flight director's off. What else do we got to do here? I think we got to get the trim. Auto brake. Actually, nothing on the trim. Okay, cool. Yeah, for all I know, they park them right here. But since there's a KC or a DC-10 down there, we're going to go ahead, head that way. Now, I do like whoever did the work here on the airport, putting the two aircraft here. Actually, in real life, they really are there. Just not F4s. No, not F4s. But it's cool that they, at least knew that much about Scott to do that. I somehow don't think we're gonna fit. Let's park it. All right, folks, there we go. You've seen it. Parking brakes are set. Let's just go through here, make sure everything's good to go. On. Lights off. All right, flaps are up. Yep. Transponder. And I think we're good to shut down. ET flight directors, auto brake, speed brakes. Okay. All right, welcome to Scott Air Force Base. All right, flight filed. I'll have to go to Sim Air Force to find out what we got on the flight here. Oh man, the airline got us at 117 feet a minute. I got robbed. But they don't tell the speed. Anyway, great flight. Love it. It's kind of neat we get this. Kind of neat. Anyway. All right, well, we made it. And I'm going to go ahead and shut smart cars down. Okay, let's take a look at some of the trackers we fly with. Starting with Elevatech. All right, so as you can see, a lot of rain. Oh, wait, where are we? There we are. Okay, so let's go ahead, complete the flight. "108 feet a minute at 133 knots. We will take that. 1.2 Gs. What a great flight from McGuire over to St. Louis. Just, well, Scott, just a fantastic flight. Oh, hang on. Doink. All right, let's check something. Customized, so we are not real. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get back on the real world weather. Give it a second to apply. See what it looks like when we get back in the plane. Yep, that's pretty much what it looks like out the window here. To the south, that's pretty much it. Not a cloud in the sky. All right, that's awesome. All right, let's start unloading the plane to get the next. So we'll need the LSU, chocks, stairs, GPU, ACU. Even though right now I'm just going to stay on what we're on here. And then I'm just going to open all. And then we'll go outside and take a look. Then all you got to do, click, unload. And it even tells you. That'll go away too. So that's another telltale sign. You know you're done unloading or loading. That'll be gone as well. You know, it's a shame they show DC-10s, but we have no DC-10. I really wish that aircraft would somehow get modeled. That was such... That's another one of those, you know, fearless type airplanes that you're going to work your butt off on. Okay, let's get in here a little quieter. All right, Sim Toolkit. Look at that, 19. I don't think we bounced. 133 and 1.2 Gs. That all adds up to the same, just a lot less. Okay, there you can see our little button hook departure into our arrival. Okay, 2 hour, 20-minute flight, 700 miles, 8,300 kilograms. Beautiful landing. Let's see how we did. Probably told me to land on the other runway. No, it did not. Cool. All right, we landed nearly 2,000 feet, or 1,900 feet down the runway, 3 feet off the... Folks, this is just a beautiful landing. Only thing that would have been better is if my wheels would have been closer to the landing pad right here, the aiming point, and boy, overall, that was a great flight. Just enjoyed it. Just hope you all did as well. We're going to wrap things up right now. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And if you're into military aviation and you'd like to fly it on VATSIM, hey, give us a try at Sim Air Force. Like I said, I've been around nearly 20 years with them. And they are just an amazing group. We did a lot more operations and more event flying where we flew formations and refueling and cross country, you know, just tanking and dragging aircraft with tankers. Also escorts and operational stuff inside certain MOAs. But you can't do that as just a regular pilot. You have to be part of a VATSIM special special ops organization. And there's a few out there. There's some over in Europe and Australia. So check us out. We'd love to have you. There is another one here in the States I'm not going to mention. But check us out. We enjoy, we fly, we enjoy, and I hope you do. Yeah, it might seem like we do a lot of, you know, point A to point B's, but, you know, there's a lot to be said there. You could come in, if we're able to shoot touch and goes, you could work on your landings, work on your approaches, work on your instrument flying. This is a good organization to learn all of that. There's a lot of we're real world military pilots here, and some even saw some combat. So you can learn quite a bit about flying military style. And for those that do dabble and more than just dabble into DCS, I don't know how they do it because part of our commitment is VATSIM, but they do have some digital combat sim operations they do get into. So check them out when you're here. I don't know much about it. I'm not into that anymore, so I don't know. A lot of problems I had with DCS, and I just don't go back. So, all right. So I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your weekend, Wednesday, hump day, and hope you're here tomorrow for Friday Eve. And we'll be heading out and flying another great adventure. Again, thanks for flying with us. Have a wonderful night. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow.